Another hour passed. The night fanned up the cold with the wind. Halku sat up. It seemed as though ice rather than blood filled his veins. He leaned back to look at the skies. How much of the night was still left? The dipper had not yet climbed half the sky. By the time it was overhead, it would probably be morning. Night would last another 3 hours or so. Close to Halku's field, there was a mango grove. Halku thought, if I go and get a pile of leaves, I can make a fire of them and keep warm. If anybody sees me gathering the leaves in the dead of night, they will think it's a ghost. Of course, there's a chance some animals hidden in my field waiting, but I can't stand sitting here any longer. He ripped up some stalks from a nearby field, made a broom out of them, and picking up a lighted cow dung cake, went towards the grove. Jabra watched him coming and ran to him, wagging his tail. Halku said, I couldn't stand it anymore, Jabra. Come along, let's go into the orchard and gather leaves to warm up with. When we are toasted, we will come back and sleep. Under the trees, it was pitch dark. The bitter wind blew, buffeting the leaves, and drops of dew dripped from the branches. Jabra had found a bomb and he was chewing on it. Halku set his fire down on the ground and began to gather the leaves. In a little while, he had a great heap. His hands were frozen, his bare feet numb. But he piled up a regular mountain of leaves, and by making a fire out of them, he had burned away the cold. In a little while, the fire was burning branches. In the flickering light, the immense trees of the grove looked as though they were carrying the vast darkness off their heads. Halku sat before the fire and let it warm him. After a while, he took off his shawl. Then he spread out both feet as though challenging the cold to do its worst. Victorious over the immense power of the winter, he could not repress his pride in his triumph. He said to Jabra, Well, Jabra, you are not cold now, are you? Jabra barked as though to say, How could I feel cold now? The leaves were all burned up. Darkness covered the orchard again. Under the ashes, a few embers smoldered, and when a gust of wind blew over them, they stirred up briefly, then flickered out again. Halku sat by the warm ashes, humming a tune. The fire had warmed. The leaves were all burned up. Darkness covered the orchard again. Under the ashes, a few embers smoldered, and when a gust of wind blew over them, they stirred up briefly, then flickered out again. Halku sat by the warm ashes, humming a tune. The fire had warmed him through, but as the cold began to spread, he felt drowsy. Jabra gave a loud bark and ran towards the field. Halku realized that this meant a pack of wild animals had probably broken in the field. There might be bluebuck. They must be grazing. He began to hear the sound of nibbling. He thought, No, with Jabra no animals can get into the field. He would rip it to shreds. I must have been mistaken. Now there is no sound at all. He shouted, Jabra, Jabra. Jabra went on barking and did not come to him. Then again there was the sound of munching and crunching in the field. He could not have been mistaken this time. It really hurt to think of getting up from where he was. It was so comfortable there. It seemed intolerable to go to the field in this cold and chase after animals. He did not stare. He shouted, "Hello, hello, hello." Jabra started barking again. There were animals eating his field just when the crop was ready. What a fine crop it was! And these cursed animals were destroying it. With a firm resolve, he got up and took a few steps. But suddenly a gust of wind pierced him with a sting like a scorpion's, such that he went back and sat again by the extinguished fire and stirred up the ashes to warm his chilled body. Halku went on sitting peacefully near the warm ashes. His drowsiness held him motionless as though with ropes. Wrapped in his shawl, he fell asleep on the warm ground near the ashes. When he woke up in the morning, the sun was high and Muni was saying, "Do you think you are going to sleep all day? You come out here and had a fine time while the whole field was being flattened." Halku got up and said, "Then you have just come from the field?" "Yes, the whole field is ruined." "And you could sleep like that? Why did you bother to put up the shelter anyway?" "Why did you bother to put up the shelter anyway?" Halku sought an excuse. "I nearly died and just managed to get through the night. And you worry about your crop?" Then the two of them walked to the edge of their land. He looked. The whole field had been trampled. Muni's face was shadowed with grief, but Halku was content. Muni's face was shadowed with grief, but Halku was content. Muni said, "Now you will have to hire yourself to earn some money to pay off the rent and taxes." But I won't have to sleep nights out here in the cold."